Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful day in Northern California, and I figured I would take the opportunity to come out here and film the WRX for you guys. I think the goal of this video is just to do a quick update on the car. The last kind of video I did like that was maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and we've definitely done quite a bit to the car, even though it doesn't look like it looks stock. So I figured we'd hit some of these back roads here, and I can cover some of the mods that we've done over the last 3 or 4 years. So we are now in the car. Love this freaking car. Where do I start with this car? The last 3 or 4 years have been pretty cool. I mean, have had a lot of mods in the car, and I think everything's been done very tastefully, at least in my opinion. My primary focus with the car has always been function over form, and I'm sure you can see that in videos. The car looks stock. It's dirty as shit. I mean, I got bird crap all over the hood. My dash is dusty like all hell, but it's got it where it counts, and that's where it truly shines through. So I guess where do we start in terms of mods on the car? We'll start with the interior, and with one of the mods that you may already can see in the video, and maybe even hear. It's the seat. So I've got the Sparco Pro 2000 in the car, and it's been a huge upgrade for taking it to the track or the autocross. Keeps me in the seat really well. The problem is this damn squeaking. It squeaks like all hell all the time. And I've tried lubing it, and it just continues to squeak, continues to squeak. Now, does it really bother me? Believe it or not that much. But I'm sure in a video like this, where you guys are listening to me and I've got the mic on me, you can hear it, and I'm sure it's annoying you guys. So we'll start off with that as an icebreaker. So what else do I got interior-wise? Really not too much outside of the seat. The car does have 2 Duffy gauges. One for oil, which is using the Killer Bee tap off the dummy sender from the factory, which is awesome. Helps me understand how the oil is doing at the track, whether or not I have enough pressure. There is also a temperature gauge. Now, this temperature gauge isn't for oil temp, because the FA20 already comes with oil temp from the factory. So this one runs through the inside of the car, into the trunk, and out past the rear subframe and into the rear differential. It's no secret that this car has an LSD, and it's a clutch pack LSD. So I'm using this Duffy temperature sender to monitor the rear fluid temp of the LSD. It's a must if you're going to be tracking the car, and I've spoken with Cusco USA, and they've told me that the maximum temp that they advertise the differential as being able to take is 300 degrees Fahrenheit, with an absolute cutoff at 320. Right, so I don't know where 320 is in comparison to what the sender is reading. So right around 280 at the track is where I back off and call it a session to let the LSD cool off. I guess the last interior mod that we have here is under my seat. So there is an Autosports Labs Race Capture Track Mark III. That is tapped into the car's ECU and allows me to run SSM3 over CAN requests to the ECU. So essentially, I can get information that you would normally get on an access port in real time sent to my data logger. My data logger is actively making requests, just like an access port would to the Subaru ECU. There are 2 CAN buses on this data logger, and the second one is used to actually read the senders that I have on the dashboard. So the oil temperature, or the differential temperature, and the oil pressure. All of that's done in real time, in positioning of the car with a 6-axis accelerometer. And all of it is viewable here on the tablet in real time via Bluetooth. So that's awesome for taking the car to the track, going back afterwards and understanding where I as a driver can make improvements, throttle inputs, brake inputs, steering inputs, And then also monitoring the condition of the car. How's the car responding to how I'm driving, the temperatures, everything out there, just to make sure everything's okay. I mean, you could theoretically log some of that information via an access port, but without the real-time telemetry, it's difficult to compare where you are on the racetrack and what's happening with the engine. So having been able to decode that method of getting that information from the ECU has been phenomenal. It's been awesome, and that's freely out there for anyone to find. I'm sure if you look hard enough, or if you have questions about it, happy to help you out. Okay, so outside of the interior of the car, what else have we done? I think with regards to taking the car to the track, it definitely has more power. So this car has a Killer Bee J pipe and intermediate pipe. It also has a Nameless Midpipe and then the stock axle back. I don't know if you guys can hear the exhaust right now, but it's pretty tame until you get on it, which is nice, right? The whole thing about this car is to kind of fly under the radar, which I think that exhaust setup allows me to do. It still allows the car to make power. Obviously, the car's Cobb tuned by Ron Watson down at Phatbotti Tuning. It's on flex fuel. Right now we're on 91 octane, but it's tuned up to E62, I think, making about 350 at the wheels. And when I go to the track, I definitely lug ethanol with me. Let's see, what else is there? A Killer Bee top-mounted intercooler with a Killer Bee charge pipe, TGV and EGR Deletes, an IAG air oil separator. What other power mods do I have on this thing? Obviously the flex fuel kit. And I think that's it for powers. It's on a stock turbo, stock header. All right, so I think that's about it. All right, let me think here. So what else have we done in the car? The car has Perrin transmission mounts and Perrin engine mounts. It's got the steering damper and the Brake Master cylinder kit, or like the Brake Master like reinforcement kit. Let me think. What else does this thing? There's a Nameless bypass valve. I don't think it really does much, but it's been working for the last, 60,000 miles. Let's see. Is that it for power? I think so. I guess the last thing is that it also has a PST carbon fiber drive shaft. Right. I guess it's not really a power mod, but it frees up power. Oh, I wish I put that backpack somewhere else. That's gonna bother me the rest of the drive. Okay. So it's got AP Racing Essex big brake kit, and on the streets right now I run the Gloc GS1 brake pads, which are great. They don't squeak. They give me enough brakes for daily driving. Couldn't complain about it. At the track, I run the R16s and the R10s in the rear. And those have been awesome. I previously had Carbotech XP8s, and I was overheating the pads like crazy. So all of my previous track personal bests have been on brake pads that just can't keep up with the power and the weight of the car. I'm hoping next month when we head back out, I'm hoping for some substantial improvements on lap time, but we'll have to wait and see. What else? In regards to brakes, I have a custom 3-inch brake cooling setup that runs through the lower grille. That one's really cool. I had a lot of fun making that. I think that's about it. I mean, besides the LSD, there's some miscellaneous things like ARP studs, just because I have stripped a couple in the past, and that was the right thing to do. Let me think here. And then obviously we have the MCS coilovers with the force lock rear mounts and full spectrum performance front mounts, but those won't be going on for the next week or two. So definitely going to be doing a video on installing those as well as getting those set up from an alignment perspective and we'll definitely share that with everyone. I think the next goal here is to get that on the car and then kind of document how we set the car up and kind of log data at the track and try to make changes and see how that improves stuff and just kind of share that with you guys. I'm not a pro, but I want to do it and document it just because I think it may help other people out there who are trying to do the same thing and maybe don't know how to get started, and my mistakes or the things that I learn could potentially help you guys. So that's definitely one of the goals here. Man, the squeaking is freaking annoying. I'm sure this mic is picking up all of it. Oh, I guess the last thing that the car has is custom drop links, or drop links that I've built myself. I don't know if I've released the video yet, but I obviously went back and kind of went through the rear drop links. The front drop links are already done, and that's kind of like a janky setup, but hopefully it holds. We may be doing more with those drop links here in the future, but I want to test these out and just make sure that they hold up to this type of abuse as well as track abuse. So that'll be one video. And then maybe we'll do something on this freaking seat rail that's driving me nuts. I haven't heard anyone else have this problem, but a lot of time guys on YouTube, they make videos and they don't tell you about like the bad part about modding your car, which I definitely am open to sharing. So if you guys do have questions, please let me know. I'm happy to share kind of my experiences with everything that I've done with the car, any potential downsides that I've seen, or upsides, or whether or not they're even worth it. Always happy to do that. So for the rest of this video, I'm just going to drive. You guys can enjoy the road. It's a beautiful day in the East Bay. Thanks for tuning in, and please subscribe and continue watching the videos.